Hey, good morning, everybody. Frank Valkyria, welcome to the channel. Let's dive into it. This is part of some unsealed document that now magazines are posting online, and it's an email communication between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So translation. Let's dive straight into it. So the message begins with Jolie saying, she's putting this in writing so not to get emotional before detailing her decision to sell Chateau Miraval Winery, which Brad Pitt also owns. It is the place where we brought the twins home to, and where we were married over a plaque in my mother's memory, Jolie wrote, referencing their youngest children. A place that held the promise of what could be and where I thought I would grow old. Wow, that's intense. Even now, impossible to write this without crying. I will treasure my memories of what it was a decade ago. Wow, she's writing like this to Depp. Depp. Sleep, like Freudian slip. All these celebrity lawsuits. Pete. But it is also the place that marks the beginning of the end of our family and business that is centered around alcohol. Jolie continued, referring to Pete's struggle with alcohol abuse. I had hoped somehow I could become something that held us together and we found light and peace. I see now how you have really wanted me out of and will mostly likely be pleased to receive this email. Jolie went on to write that she has seen lots of inconsiderable behavior, money spent in ways that I would not have approved, and decision made that I was not consulted on in the past 4 years, saying she's been hurt by decisions that have been made that show no interest in sharing the business or changing it fundamentally into something that would be healthier for our children. It's a wine business, so I mean, the connection in between that and the husband being alleging the husband being an alcoholic, because I don't know, of course, I have no idea. It's a big stretch. Of course, anything can be harmful to your diet. You can also use alcohol considerably, and that comes from somebody that doesn't drink. So I was shaken by the recent imagery that was released to sell the alcohol. I find it irresponsible and not something that I would want to children to see. It reminded me of painful times. She continued writing that she does not feel she can be involved publicly or privately in a business based on alcohol, when alcoholic behavior harmed our family so deeply. Jolie then went on to say, the business is therefore past the point of anything that I could be part of, morally and for the good of our family, before detailing 2 ways forward, which includes the option for an outright sale, in which she says she will completely support him in seeking to sell the company and move away from this hard and painful chapter in our lives. The alternative is that a complete buy out of my share in the property and business by you, the pairing family, or your associate, she wrote. Either way, I believe we need to move forward in order to heal and focus on where our family comes together and where we have positive association, and to do so quickly. Wow. So, I mean, in a way that this is public, it's a pity, because those things should be solved in between them, and also because it is an email written by her, so legally you could say it's it could give some insight, but at the same time, it's still like somebody telling her side of the story. But to make this public, of course, is gonna quickly influence the perception of how people see Brad Pitt, because there are not straightforward allegations here or condemnations. There are some hints at an alcoholic behavior which somebody could be displeased by, but there is a whole range, of course. But this is enough for people in general to jump immediately to conclusion and say like, he did this, he did whatever, even worse. So immediately becomes a case of DV. And of course, I'm not saying that it's not, I just don't know. But I think those things do have that type of influence. But anyway, it's also interesting to read. We will see moving forward. She wrote in her email, "I cannot begin to express how upsetting it is for me to have to reach this point. Your dream for your relationship to the business and the alcohol is your own, and you've made it painfully clear. I wish you all the best with the business and sincerely hope that the children feel differently about Miraval when they are older and visit you there. But Miraval for me died September 2016, and everything I have seen in the years since has sadly confirmed that." Wow. Earlier this year, Jolie sold Chateau Miraval winery to Russian oligarch Yuri Shefler, which prompted Pitt to sue her. Pitt acknowledged that his ex-wife put in 40% of the $28.4 million purchase price, but claimed it was only him who made the winery successful. So, Pitt also claims that, per terms of their 2019 divorce, he and Jolie had a mutual understanding that neither of them could sell the part of their winery without the other consent. So this is the part, I think, where Brad Pitt is pissed, because it seems like that he doesn't like this guy, this Yuri Shefler, and he didn't want to be involved with him. And now also I think this guy is suing Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt is suing Angelina Jolie. So a lot of lawsuits around this. And I wonder, I'm sure that Brad Pitt is richer than this. And I know that, to shed 28 million or 30 million, it's, even if you're rich, it's still a lot of cash to part from. You probably have to liquidate assets or whatever. But I wonder, wasn't it better just to buy it all? That would be interesting to see which one were her demands. If she asked, I don't know, because this is the price they probably bought it, right? And we don't know what she asked. So last month, Jolie's former company Noel filed for $250 million lawsuit against Pitt, claiming the actor waged a vindictive war in an attempt to wrestle away control of the winery. According to a court document, the company claimed Pitt masterminded a so far successful plan to take control of Chateau Miraval and use the business as his personal fiefdom. Fiefdom? I don't know this word. We gotta find out right now. Fiefdom.
Fiefdom.
Fiefdom. A territory or sphere or operation controlled by a particular person or group. A mafia boss who has turned the town into his private fiefdom. Fiefdom. A fief was the central element of feudalism. It is considered of heritable property or rights granted by an overlord to a vassal who held it in the fealty in return for a form of feudal allegiance and service. All right, you always gotta learn, huh? Fiefdom. All right, so we're gonna see where this ends. It doesn't look good, and still, honestly, to this moment, I know that there are allegations against Brad Pitt of this airplane incident where he was supposed to have taken, the kids and put his hands around his neck because he interfered. Well, at least he jumped in between a verbal altercation of Jolie and Pitt on this plane, and she was absolutely upset by it. Those are the allegations, and of course, I don't want to jump to any conclusion, but you got it. The only way you can move forward with this is if they release more documents and they go to court. That's the only way you can see some truth, because as we have learned also from other things, sometimes things don't look what they seem, and sometimes they're exactly what they seem. So yeah, we'll see, guys. Anyway, please consider subscribing, and talk to you later.